Hello everybody and welcome back to the Retro Recall. I hope you're doing awesome. Today we have another beautiful machine from IBM, the IBM ThinkPad T42. This machine was released in 2002, 2003, making it approximately 20 years old, which is crazy. This particular machine I was able to locate for very inexpensive price, which was just great. I have a few ThinkPads now. And I just love the machines, as I've said before. And I just recently did another video on a ThinkPad, the ThinkPad 380 XD. If you haven't seen that, I'll put that. I'll take that at the end of this video. So today we're just going to go over the outside of the machine and then go from there. So it is an IBM ThinkPad T42, not too thick, a little over an inch, and we'll go over all the different components. So on this side of the machine, we have the DVD burner, CD-ROM drive, DVD-ROM drive. It has or RAM drive, I should say, and it has a CDRW in it as well. It's also a modular bay, so you're able to actually remove the bay itself. I'm not going to do that on this video just because of the age of the machine, but yes, all you need to do is flip the tab, pull it out, you're good to go. On over here is the external video port for hooking up an external monitor, SVGA port. So that's really handy if you want to hook up a different monitor to it. That's great. On the back side of the machine, it's fairly simplistic. If you noticed on the other machine, the older IBMs, they had quite a few ports on the back, but we do have our battery, which is right here. And for the record, the battery is dead. We have our power connector and we have our printer port. These became more and more rare as time had gone on, to the point where they just stopped including them in the machines. So moving on the other side, we have quite a bit of different components here. We have our USB ports we have here. We have a PS2 port here as well. We have our modem. Yes, 56K modem is built into this machine. We have the Ethernet gigabit Ethernet connector here for hooking up to the internet. There's also a Wi-Fi card in the machine. We have our audio connectors here. We have our exhaust, hot air exhaust fan area here. And then we have our PCM CIA slot here as well. So pretty straightforward on the machine. And on the underbelly of the machine, again, this IBMs are built for business, specifically this machine. So it does have a docking port here as well, or a docking connector to hook up into a port. We have our battery, which is replaceable, of course. I don't have an extra battery for it. It just does not hold a charge. But it's there to keep the bay closed. And a user accessible RAM replacement here. And this machine has been beefed up to the maximum amount of memory. Let's go ahead and open up the case. Just love that IBM logo. Before Lenovo purchased them. So this machine is still around the era where IBM were still making these machines themselves. Let's go ahead and just push close here to get that glare off the screen there. There we go. So we have our IBM internal. So again, the IBM logo again, just awesome having this machine. So we have our 15-inch screen here that we have. It's 4:3 aspect ratio, which is fantastic for the older gaming and what have you, compared to the more 16:9 type screens and other resolutions. So it's great to have that. And then we have our beautiful ThinkPad keyboard. This just notorious. It feels just like the other machine from the early 90s. It's just absolutely beautiful. All of them feel great. Anyway, so it's just really good. And then we have our trackpad or track point there, which is again one of the common staples of the ThinkPad series, as well as and this particular one has a trackpad as well. So these two buttons here and a third button are all configurable for this use for the track point, and then down here you can use these two buttons here for the trackpad. So you have a choice what you want to use, or of course an external mouse if you need to. Outside of that, we have our Access IBM button. That was just one of those quick key buttons that if you have the proprietary IBM software installed on the actual machine, which this one does have, a fresh actual OEM installation of Windows XP. Professional actually is what's on here. And it allowed you to bring up different tools and applications similar to newer notebooks of today. It allowed you to open up different diagnostics or applications, what have you. So really, really handy to have that. And we have our light up here. So if you're working in darker conditions, laptop, working at night, watching TV, you can turn on the keyboard light here as well, which would shine down on the keyboard. The machines obviously weren't backlit at the time, so it did shine a very low lighting on the keyboard so you could see what you were doing. Okay, so let's go ahead and just power up this machine and see the experience. IBM ThinkPad. Intel Centrino processor. And Windows XP. Hopefully everybody can see the screen pretty good there. Now, as I mentioned, these machines are a little more sought after only because of the outside of being, ThinkPad collector, but also the aspect ratio of the screen, the speed, and the dedicated graphics that are in here used for gaming. I personally just love them, so it doesn't matter any ThinkPad. It's great. There's the Windows XP startup sound. And there we are, the good old familiar desktop bliss. I was actually just watching a video the other day on one of the other YouTube channels around the how Bliss came to be, how this photo came to be. It's quite an interesting documentary. I'll actually post a link in the comments below to Michael MGJD's YouTube channel. It's an amazing channel. But again, it was just fascinating to see the retrospective and where this all came from originally. So here we go. We have the machine all loaded up there. So let's just go in and hey, I was talking about the desktop here. Let's just go into properties and just take a look at the themes here. So, I always loved Bliss. Obviously, when I first got Windows, this is my original copy of Windows in the box from 2002, Windows XP Home Edition. This is just another copy I had received over the years, Windows XP Professional, sealed copy, OEM, for what it came with a brand new system at the time. But again, this was the very first background that I had loaded up, so a lot of different memories there. And I'm sure everybody, used to go around and play around all the things. Now, this is one when I was more into, as I went into the workforce and used professional systems and laptops. I did have Lenovo's and or ThinkPads and at the time, and I always had this kind of background, the Windows XP Professional, because that's what ran on it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and see what else is on here. So I think I think IBM has their own here as well. Let's scroll up here just to see what's here. Yeah, they do. They have this common one that I've seen quite a while on these machines. So it was pretty cool. Let's just go back to Bliss, just because, that's classic Windows XP. And one of the things that I like to have done back in the day when I was installing Windows was hearing the setup theme, the music that used to play. And this is I don't know if anyone can hear that there. This was the music that used to play in the background while you were installing Windows, so it's pretty cool. Definitely bringing back the memories on this 20-year-old machine. Windows Media Player. What version is this? I wonder. I used quite a bit of media players back in the day, and this version is 9. Wow. All different visualizations. So cool. Yeah, and here you can play from CDs. It says you can copy from CDs in here. It had a radio tuner built in back in the day. Different services that you pay for to listen to music and radio. But yeah, that's really cool. Okay, go ahead and close that. Let's go ahead and click on settings and just see the resolutions here. So you see that this particular system has a mobility Radeon 7500 dedicated graphics. It's currently running at 1024 by 768, which looks like to be the maximum resolution of this particular system, running at 32-bit color at the moment. So yeah, let's go ahead and get over there, and let's go into the control panel just to see what else is on here. Yeah, so here we are. Here's the Windows XP control panel. So there's a couple ThinkPad, well, there's a ThinkPad configuration application here that would have been installed. There's a, peppered through the installation, of course, because it's an OEM installation. We have the IBM Access IBM, which is the button which we'll click on a little later. Vantage Technologies, different support options. So yeah, it's pretty cool. This particular system under control panel in this application allows you to click on the different different parts of the system, the hardware, and you can do different adjustments and configurations and changes. So it's really, really cool. And let's go to system information and details. Let's see what's in here. So the Windows XP Service Pack 2 is installed on this, which is great. 1 GB of memory, and it shows the BIOS version and the machine type, which is pretty cool. And then all the BIOS information and battery information. Don't let it trick you. It says it's charging at 100%. It is not. As soon as you unplug that cable, you have literally a second or two, and the system shuts off. So I gotta get a new battery for that. All right, let's go into the more. Actually, one second. Let's see view system summary. Let's see what's under this one. Oh, it's just a text printout. Let's go into your classic system settings here in Device Manager just to see. We'll do a walkthrough of what's on the system. So because it is OEM installation, so it shows an IBM logo as part of the Windows XP installation. We have an Intel Pentium M, mobile is what the M stand for, processor, 1.7 gigahertz. And the mobile processors were meant for, for portable computing, obviously, but also, they ran cooler, didn't use as much power and things like that. I mean, they were good performance, but again, just at the time it was better. I mean, they did have some desktop replacements back in the days, what they called them, were thicker machines with true Pentium desktop processors in them, and they ran fairly hot. I have a couple of those laptops, and it's just crazy to think the difference. So yeah, okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on the hardware, and we're going to click on Device Manager just to see what's in here in terms of a machine. So we have our just our batteries and computer, just your standard stuff. And so for disk drives, we have a 40 gigabyte Fujitsu hard drive that's in this machine. It is user accessible. You can go in. One of the nice things about ThinkPads in the business industry, as I mentioned in my other video about ThinkPads, that you can go in and replace that hard drive if you're experienced enough to do so. So it was really good to have that, including the user accessible memory underneath to be able to upgrade. And you can see that. Yeah, okay. Under display adapters, we have our ATI Mobility Radeon 7500. That's the dedicated graphics that are in the machine, which gives you a little more of an edge. I mean, it's not a high-end video card by any means, but definitely at the time was something that ran a decent amount of games on a portable computing platform, which is pretty cool. Under DVD CD-ROM drives, we have just a regular DVD RAM drive and also CDRW drive. So correct me if earlier I had indicated it was DVD burner as well. It's not. It's just a read-only DVD drive, and yeah, so we have that. Okay. So now the floppy disk controllers, we have just a standard floppy disk controller. Now it's there. There's no floppy disk installed, but because this bay is modular, I imagine at the time you could go in and swap that out and just see if yeah, you could do that. And I stand corrected. It is a DVD burner that's in this computer as well. The IDE controller, so this just controls your hard drive as well. So that's really good. And then infrared devices. So I mean, I didn't use infrared back in the day. It was one of those things that you could buy a device, an infrared printer, for example, or if you had like a Palm Pilot or some sort of handheld PDA, you could synchronize, put it next to the infrared port, synchronize between the two devices without actually having to plug a wire in and things like that. And this is long before we started coming out with Bluetooth and using wireless and all that stuff. So it was just neat to have them. I mean, I don't have anything of that nature today, but definitely something you could use. We have our keyboard, our mouse This shows the IBM ThinkPad UltraNav pointing device, which is awesome, and our modem. So it's just an IBM integrated 56K modem, nothing fancy. I had implied that earlier. I'm a big fan of US robotics, always have been, but that is definitely an IBM that's in this one. And our monitors, I mean, just yeah, it's a ThinkPad 1024-768 LCD panel. This machine, I've had it plugged into different things, so it installs the drivers for them. Network drivers, so we do have our 10100 or gigabit, sorry, Intel Pro mobile Wi-Fi card, which is wonderful. Yes, or sorry, our Ethernet card, sorry, and then we have our Intel Pro wireless B and G Wi-Fi. Now I can't connect this machine to the Wi-Fi because on my network I have it limited just to wireless N and above connections, just for security. But I am going to get just an older, actually I did not get, I have hook up an older router and firewall it just to limit it to for these older machines, just to get on the internet and do different things. And again, you know, there's no updates, not very low security on these things. Being 20 years old, I don't know how many people are out there trying to hunt these down anymore in terms of trying to compromise the machine. But it's cool to go online and access some things that you still can. And then we have our PCMCIA adapter. We have our ports on the system. So we have a COM port and a printer port. Our processor, which is showing the Pentium M processor, Intel Pentium M 1.7 gigahertz. And for sound, we just have a very entry-level sound card that's in this. I think it's an AC97 card that's in here. It's very, very generic. And then our USB controllers as well. So that's, yeah, that's the hardware overview on this particular computer. It's just really bringing back memories, just having the form factor of this machine and seeing after 20 years the condition of this screen. I mean, there's very little damage to this machine at all for 20 years, other than the top of the machine when it's closed. I mean, that was probably your most hit or damaged. And in terms of damage, not really any damage. It's more of that IBM was very notorious for that rubberized coating that was on the top, and over the years it would start to wear down and blacken stuff you touch and things like that. So, I mean, I took it off the IBM 380 XD. I'm leaving it on this one for now because it's not too bad yet. But each time I wipe it down with an alcohol wipe or anything, it starts to, you know, take it off. Okay, so that's the IBM control panel there on the in Windows XP. So that's pretty cool. Let's go in and let's just press the IBM Access button. Let's just see what that brings up here. Again, part of the IBM software that comes with the machine. Oh, there we go. Turn that down. Oh, cool. You can see the online or on-screen display that comes up when you use the buttons for the volume control. You, of course, use Windows to do that as well. But that's something that comes with the IBM OEM application there. So I opened it there, and it doesn't seem to, unless I closed it right away as well. No, it's right there. Okay. So in here we have welcome, just a host of information sources and tools. We get to learn, we get to configure our system, protect and recover, get help and support, and stay current. I think 20 years have passed. I think we're good on staying current. So in here you can learn to use all the system features. It's just you get the system for the first time. We're back in 2002, 2003, and yeah, I mean, it's just easier to just to get help and support and learn through these things and all that stuff, and of course find some system information about the actual computer and what have you. So that's really cool. Yeah, so that's that. And let's click on the Start menu here, see what else is on here. So we have our Windows Media Player, Windows Messenger, MSN Messenger, that was really cool back in the day, tour of the computer, and my documents, recent documents, computer, music, that's pretty cool. Let's click on all programs here. So we have some of our IBM stuff here. We have Adobe Reader 6 installed, nothing fancy. PC Doctor for Windows, I'm sure that was a application that was given to the as part of the OEM installation of Windows XP. Sonic Express Labeler, which I imagine is part of the suite for WinDVD, WinDVD Creator for creating DVDs and labeling the DVDs. Not physically the actual disc, but the jewel case that came with them at the time. Yeah, so that's pretty cool there. IBM Java, IBM Record Now. That looks a lot like one of the Nero applications, to be honest with you. I wonder if IBM rebranded it. No, it is one of their own. Oh, Business Edition. It seems like one of their own branded ones, but it looks awful familiar to me, like Nero, but that's fine. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on Start again, and let's go into the games here. So one of the things you could do, and one of the things that XP came with, was the Internet games that are on here. So we have Internet Checkers, Internet Hearts, Internet Reversey, Internet Spades. I'm pretty confident that, first off, I'm not on the Internet anyway, but pretty confident that they're probably not working. I used to play checkers quite a bit. I'm just clicking on it. I'm just clicking on it to see if it'll actually do anything. No, unable to connect to the server. So I mean, chances are it's just not gonna. Yeah, it's just not gonna fly. Okay, that's fine. Shame, because I loved at the time playing against different people on the internet. Just you and I, just using Windows XP, not signing up to any game servers or anything. You would just literally click on games and go to your checkers or backgammon or whatever, and you would just play it. It's pretty cool. And classic Minesweeper. I mean, I was always very, very, very terrible at this game. I'm not gonna lie. Oh, I might luck out today. You know, being on video and everything like that. Yeah, well, I lied. Well, there we go. Yeah, I was always terrible at the game, and that's beginner. Goodness forbid, actually, picking something like this. So never mind. Yeah, that's Minesweeper. Let's see what's on here. And we have our games again, and we have classic solitaire. And like I said, whenever I got in here, I always change the settings from draw 3 to draw 1. Yeah, maybe cheating, who knows? But I missed the classic shell on the beach theme. I always use that. We showed that back in Windows. I will show that again in Windows 3.1, but yeah, that's pretty cool. I think Windows 95 had that as well. I'm not sure about 98. I just don't remember. Okay, let's get into that. Yeah, and let's go through some of the other start menu items here. We already went through a lot of them already. Let's go back to games then, and let's click on Spire, Solitaire. Let's click on Pinball, classic Pinball, 3D Pinball. I don't know how many people remember this. This is something I used to play quite a bit. Let's go to full screen. Wow. Waiting deployment. Classic 3D Pinball. It even has a table nudge option here as well. Oh, tilt. Oh, did too much. There we go. Oh, I'll play one more time there. There we go. What other games did you guys play with Windows XP? Oh, there we go. Leave a note in the comments. It'll be great to hear and see. I'm going to go ahead and, yeah, we're back to regular screen here. And we'll turn the music off for now, just for the sake of what we're doing here. So I wonder if you can, no, it didn't have any sort of custom backends. I did have other pinball machines that you could change the actual game itself, like the backend stuff. So I don't have that, the actual table. We don't have that today. Yeah, so that's Windows XP on the beautiful IBM ThinkPad T42. Pretty laid back video today, just bringing the experience of this beautiful 20-year-old machine. And it's just absolutely great to see, in amazing condition, and running amazingly well as well. And maybe in a future video, what I'll do is I'll install some higher end games that of the era on here. So I have quite a bit of games from that era as well. So we'll do that. We'll do that in the future. So if you like today's video, please give it a thumbs up and leave a comment below. I love the engagement. I try to reply to every one of my comments. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. I'm always trying to release new videos, 1 to 2 videos a week. And hit the notification button, the bell, just to be notified of when I actually go ahead and release those videos. So for now, I'm going to sign off, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.